Hi, welcome back to A Twin Flame Path. Happy New Year. It's the first day of the lunar calendar, and welcome to the year of the dog. So, along with this, I think my celebrations and meditations and progress in my relationship, blessings from God, all of the above led to a lot of downloads of information, or a lot of receiving of information. One of the intriguing ones had to do with when twin flames decide to be twin flames, because I was thinking about people I know who are in relationships and who aren't. And, the belief is that it's common in the spiritual community that not everybody is a twin flame. And it's also a common belief that, you are one soul that splits before coming here, usually to Earth, and you split before, and you're one spirit or one soul that divided into two. But the consciousness that I received is that it's very possible and very common for the decision to be made here. If you go into like the reincarnation realm and old souls, and I've been here before in past lives and things like that can go back millions of years, right? So you kind of combine that notion with not everybody is a twin flame, which I do believe to a degree. I think that these things are so complicated to say, like, this is what I believe. It's limiting, because the dialogue can go on like a lot, and it can get very detailed, and so to say one way is the way that it is, I try not to go down that path too often. So back to the decision being made here. So you have the people who it is, their first time around. And I think it might be different for everyone, but what I've come to believe is that the decision can be made, the contract can be made between two people, so they can make the choice to return to each other again and decide to be one spiritually. And not, we're not talking about like in 3D terms. We're talking about in 3D making a soul contract, so then it starts the twin flame process. And what those parameters are, I believe that that's up to the people, the souls that are involved. One thing that I do know is that upon recognition, or I guess a reconfirmation, or a restating of vows or whatever can take place, because sometimes it takes a little time to find each other, recognize each other, and things like that. But then once all of those things fall into place, it may not be customary, but I believe that it is very nice and common, maybe, I'm not sure, to reconfirm, I only want to be with you. I only want to return to you. I only want to come back with you. I only want to be there with you. all of those things. And for people who, when it is like unrequited love or one-sided or something like that, those people may come back around in the form of karmics, or false twins or something like that. Soul groups have all kinds, and the lessons that we have to learn and the trials that we have to go through, sometimes it's brought on by people who don't have the best intentions. And the way that you handle it and the way that you maneuver is what ultimately can get you through in that kind of circumstance. And I took notes. I usually don't take notes, but there was so much to happen at like one time. I was thinking either this is going to be like a multi-video situation or all of this is going to come out in one shot. But here I am. So when it comes to these situations that you guys need to go through, another instinctual thing or another realization that came was your higher self will instruct your twin flame in many ways, including the ones that lead to the truth or information about the two of you. So sometimes it's a not so cool situation or basically some asshole that you run into that might lead to something. Basically, it's an example of how everything works together. But in this case that I'm talking about with the higher self, sometimes your higher self will instruct your twin, talking about your higher self will instruct your twin as far as how to behave or what to do, even the littlest things like a text or a tweet or something like that, that will be in perfect accordance for what your twin needs at whatever time that they receive it. And this goes for, both parties, It's like when your instinct is kind of like, oh, don't forget to do this, or, your intuition, or, that gut feeling. These things, they work in tandem like this in a worldwide scale. Like basically everything happens for a reason, everything happens for the greater good, and all of that, which is true in my belief. But with the two within the union, it's like more intimate, it's like buying something may help your twin remember something about something with you guys from another lifetime, or may help you understand something about your twin, your partner in this lifetime. And it may not be something that they've come and told you directly, but it may be something that helps the two of you that neither of you really asked a question about because you didn't even know there was a question to be asked, but that's how these little, positive triggers work, and another point, I guess I could go on in that, but I think that's a good place to stop. Backtracking a little bit, but another thing about your soul and your higher self when it comes to these things to learn about each other is your soul yearns for your twin flame to know certain things about you. And this may be an example of what some call healing, but I think it's a little different. It's like you may have disturbances in yourself because not necessarily something that you're healing from, but it's something that your soul knows that your twin flame needs to know, or it would be helpful for them to know, but they don't yet know, and it's causing a misunderstanding between you guys. Even if it's not anything negative, it could be a misunderstanding, like, I didn't know you thought that way, like your thought processes happened this way because of this occurrence, or this is how you are because of this. It may not have caused any huge problems. It may not have caused any fights or disturbances, but it may cause the person their own mood to be affected subconsciously, because their higher self or their soul knows that their twin doesn't know yet, but they want them to know. But that's like so deep in your subconscious, So it could cause like additional feelings of anxiety or anxiousness, or some kind of disruption, eagerness, I wouldn't fear maybe, but more along the lines of I can't think of the word. It's a little bit less stressful than anxiety. It's more like a restlessness. You may become more restless or fidgety just in life, a little bit less patient with somebody in line, or something like that. And those things can be caused by something that's such a part of you that you didn't know to bring it up, that would help your twin flame understand more about you, because you guys know a lot about each other, but sometimes it can feel as if you just know everything, especially after like an extended amount of time. And what I'm finding is that the complexity within a relationship is the same complexity within a person's mind. Just think about how complex you are, just you just knowing yourself in your own little headspace, everything you like, everything that you feel about every taste, how you prefer LCD to plasma, this game to that, what happens when you look at the rainbow reflection on the back of a CD. Just think about that in every area of your life. It's kind of like, what they say about your inner galaxy. Now multiply that by 2. That's the kind of complexity that a relationship can bring. That's why it's like nice to go out and experience things together, because it's the simplest things come with a complex set of opinions and observations, and so and sharing, so when you have your own 2 worlds happening and you think that that's pretty much all there is, to know, it's not. But that's why like sharing opinions and being like open to like other opinions, and coming together even if you don't share the same opinions, that helps, I think, bring people back to being closer together, even if they really weren't that far apart. But thinking that that's all there is to know, I don't know if that's ever the case. So yeah, so that was my little session of info. I'm drinking these things again. I much rather have a brewski and some chicken tenders right now, but instead I went this route and some kind of vitamin bar, because I had to start filming, pretty quickly. It's so sour. Yeah, I think that one has like legit lemon juice in it. Coconut vinegar juice. I didn't really read that description until I got home, and I'm like, that probably wasn't the best choice for packaging. But yeah. So on that note, a little update about me. Maybe sharing some little tidbits of information about me would be nice. I don't know. Maybe I just like talking. I think that's it too. But yeah. Art's going pretty well. I don't really know what to say about it. I think that's the one constant thing that I have happening as far as like work is concerned. Besides like videos and stuff, but artist strife, or not artist strife. It's more like there's always something to reach for, and I think I'm just in this zone where I've finished a couple of pieces and sent them to my twin flame, and now it feels like I'm starting again, and I don't really know what to do next, so I'm over here looking at my supplies. I keep a little desk over here that keeps my tools and stuff on, and who knows. So I'm going to do some gaming. I have some work to finish, and you might wonder, like, she like games a lot, and I do, but oftentimes I need to deflate, and I like doing something relatively mindless. I don't watch TV. I don't have cable. But I do get down on some YouTube. But I don't want to go like that, like zoned out. If I'm watching something, usually I have to like draw or do something. But with gaming, I feel like I'm thinking, but I'm not taking in energy, because watching YouTube even can be heavy, especially, when you're just like looking more into things. And that's kind of how I started this video, like getting the sound together on my laptop. I'm over here watching this video about theories, and it just gets heavy. Everything gets heavy. Even the most lighthearted YouTube videos can get heavy. It's like there's some people who I really enjoy because it's just plain Jane, you know what you're getting yourself into. They're pretty much agenda free and lighthearted, people. But most of the stuff on YouTube gets pretty heavy for me, and I think that's what I look for. And this is some good advice for anybody who out there is starting to see the world in a different way, because when you start to kind of wake up, and I don't know if it ever slows down, to tell you the truth, especially when you start changing your diet and like trying to like achieve those goals and stuff, stuff starts getting heavy. It's like ignorance is bliss is kind of a harsh way of putting it, but when you're not like aware and you don't care, and you just kind of sweep underneath the rug, or sweep things underneath the rug, or just really have no clue. Sweeping under the rug is one thing, but having no clue, it's like stuff is light, man. Like commercials, no problem. Oh, that's pretty cool new mop on the market, and oh wow, like this is what they're saying in the news today, and oh, I just saved a penny on my gas. That's pretty nice, and you just, oh, let me just go eat this and everything's gonna be all good. Like it's like carefree. But then when you start knowing like why that oil price was, affected, and that this thing that was supposed to be grown this way was not, and the stuff that is in this water is uncool, and why this shrimp got this big and who owns this station, and it just becomes like very corporate, put it like that, and gets a little heavier. So lighthearted things help. So on that note, I'm gonna go and eat something proper, because little health bar and coconut vinegar juice, it's not cutting it. So on that note, I will see you later, and take care in the meanwhile. Bye.